feel is fine. So don't treat me like a puppet on a string, 'cause I know how to do my thing. Don't talk to me as if you think I'm dumb. I wanna know when you're gonna come. See, I don't wanna wait in vain for your love. I don't wanna wait in vain for your love. I don't wanna wait in vain for your love. I don't wanna wait in vain for your love. 'Cause it's summer is here, I'm still waiting there. Winter is here, and I'm still waiting there. It's been 3 years since I'm knocking on your door, and I still can knock some more. Ooh, girl, is it visible? I wanna know now, for I to knock some more. In life I know there is lots of grief, but your love is my relief. Tears in my eyes burn, tears in my eyes burn, while I'm waiting, yes, I'm waiting for my turn. I don't wanna wait in vain for your love. Won't you try to love me? 'Cause it will be just fine. Can't you see that within me you'll find life? I'll make you smile, I promise. Never make you cry. All I hope is for the day you'll be mine. Be mine. Be mine. I will try over and over with you. I will fight over and
Good evening, everyone. If you could just take your seats. I think most of you have drinks and you've grabbed some food. And I think all our presenters are here now, so that's good. You are allowed to get up and go back to the bar. It's not a ban, so don't panic. I think I know most of you in the room this evening, but I'm Tiona Cousin. I look after I'm Manager of Economic Development and Tourism at Mackay Regional Council. So part of my program and why I've dealt with a lot of you is through the Invest Mackay Events and Conference Attraction Program, and we'll touch on that as we go through the evening as well. But thank you all for giving up your time this evening. It's probably been a long day and a long week for all of you, so we do really appreciate you coming along tonight. I would like to respectfully acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Yuwi people, and pay our respects to elders past, present, and to their young emerging leaders. I'd also like to acknowledge the Mayor, Greg Williamson, who's here, and we also have a number of councillors here this evening as well, which is great to have their support. Tonight is really about info sharing. So we'll run through the 2022 calendar. It's huge this year between COVID postponements, people getting new opportunities for regional Queensland and Mackay. It is just absolutely packed. So we'll touch on a lot of those events. We've got a few event organisers here tonight as well who'll talk about their specific events and the opportunities that may bring. So take this chance, absorb all the information. There's plenty of time at the end for networking as well. We'll push through the presentations and there's a few videos, so we won't stop for questions during the night. But again, we've got plenty of time at the end if we do have some time to take some questions from the floor, or the speakers will be hanging around as well and happy to talk to you if there's anything further you'd like to know. So just some housekeeping as well before we get into the detail. So the bathrooms are towards the back, either side of the bar. In an emergency, we'll evacuate out towards McAllister Street to the car park. There's plenty of MEC staff here, I'm sure, who'll lead us safely out of the building. And any smokers just outside of the building are well clear, so 10 metres away from the building if you'd like to go outside. And so that goes through, I guess, some of the basics of the evening, and now we'll get into the fun part and talking about all the events. But to kick us off, I'd like to welcome the Mayor, Greg Williamson, up to the stage.
Thanks, Deanna. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Never been introduced as the fun part before. What, that's enough of you, Councillor Green. It's great to be here, and this is a fantastic event that we're able to come together again now and actually forecast what 2022 is going to look like in terms of events for our region. And as we come together as a community, it's always very important to acknowledge the fact that this wonderful place that we promote, this wonderful place that we call home, has seen a human occupation dating back about 2,500 generations. And for us in our valley, that's the Yuwi people. So as a community, when we are together, we acknowledge the traditional custodianship of the Yuwi people and honour their elders past, present and those emerging. Over the past 6 years, our council has invested $8 million into attracting events and facilitating events in our region. We've had 220 events, 51 conferences, and the RemPlan data tells us that that has injected about $192 million into our community. It's about 190,000 visitors over the last 6 years and about 670,000 bed nights. So that's why we do it. And I'd like to say that the councillors here today, when it comes to our table, there's a vote, of course, taken around the money that we spent and the money we do spend. We still allocate about $1 million a year. Whose is that? Right. That's generally a carton, Justin. So for the councillors here, Councillor Justin Englert, whose phone just rang, he's also the temporary chair of Mackay Tourism. So he is very well invested in all of this. Councillor Belinda Hassan, Councillor Michelle Green, Councillor Lawrence Bonaventura. These councillors who around our table make the decision to actually invest in tourism. And I've got to say that every year for the last 6 years, they have invested in tourism. It takes a bit to put $1 million into the account to spend on attracting events. But when you see the return, that's why we do it. And we will continue to do that because we've got the support of people like you in terms of your passion and your drive in making the visitors who come to Mackay feel welcome and feeling like they want to come back here, want to come back with their families if they come on a business event or a sporting event, want to come back and spend some time in our region, investigating the region, holidaying in the region. Our aim as a council is to make this region the best region in Australia, bar none, for livability and livelihood. And livability means we'll do our best to make sure that the region presents always at the best possible way we can present it. But we can't do that without you. The tourism industry, and as I always say, I think everybody is in tourism, but the tourism industry, and that's a rather opaque word that really means everybody who loves Mackay, everybody who actually talks about Mackay, everybody who actually encourages somebody who's here on a visit to go and see the platypus or to go and see the kangaroos on the beach or to go and see the wakeboard park or whatever it is. And Vern's here today. We haven't seen Vern at a tourism event for quite some time, but Vern's from Melba House at the top end of our valley. And so we have some tremendous attributes in our region that we all love to talk about. And the more we talk about that to the people who visit, the better off we become as a region. So thank you for what you do. The Mackay region is one of the fastest growing local government regions in Queensland. And it's great to see those figures come about again. We know at the moment it's difficult to find a house to rent in Mackay. The builders are building as fast as they can, but the supply chain network is really causing us a lot of issues. Well, we're not Robinson Crusoe there. But we can't let all of those sort of temporary roadblocks get in our way. Our job in promoting tourism, in promoting Mackay, is to promote a friendly, welcoming, business-open community to everybody that we see. And I know you guys do that. I'm preaching to the converted. But as long as all your staff, as long as all the people who serve at anything that we have in Mackay, bear that in the back of our mind, we have one of the best regions in Australia to promote. It's just up to us to do it. Tonight, you're going to see some of the events that are in the pipeline for Mackay. Some of the events like the Australian Society of Sugarcane Technologists Conference, that's coming to Mackay this year. The Australian Junior Basketball Championships, the national championships for junior basketball here in Mackay. Legends on the Lawn Music Festival, of course. The Mackay Beach Races. James Dean is here today. We've just been doing some launching of that today. That's back on the books. We've been waiting 4 years for it. It's going to be a tremendous event, and this will become an international visioned event. Absolutely sure of it, because where else in the world do they race on the beach? And James has already got 20 horses signed up It'll be 40 next week, James. The Institute of Public Works Engineering Australasia Conference. Wow. That'll be a fantastic But look, this is the variety of conferences that our team have managed to get on the books this year. And of course, then in sports, the Oceania Athletics Association Championships. That's for the South Pacific. That's being run out at the Arc. There's 28 nations involved in it, all coming to Mackay. There's some fabulous opportunities for us here in 2022, and you're going to hear a little bit more about a few of those tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for what you do for our community. The Council will continue to support this industry as long as we've got your passion and your drive. Have a great night.
Thank you, Mayor. So to kick us off into, yes, as I said, a very packed event calendar, we've got Christy Rush, Coordinator Sales and Business Development here at the MEC, and also Gabrielle Di Calentodio, the Senior Economic Development Officer for Tourism and Events in my program in Economic Development. And most of you would know Lasara or have dealt with her. So Gab's taken on Lasara's maternity leave contract, so I'm sure most of you will get to know her very well over the next 12 months. So I'll hand it over to them to run through the calendar and talk about some tools that are also available to you to promote your event.
Thank you, Tiona. Mackay Regional Council has invited all tourism industry operators here tonight to get us all into the one room to look at some of the major events and conferencing coming up in 2022. This briefing will give you a chance to get the lowdown on some of the featured events that are coming to our region and think about how you can work with events to maximise opportunities for your business. It is also an excellent networking opportunity for accommodation providers, retailers, restaurant operators and event organisers to discuss opportunities to collaborate. So let's take a look.
So starting off in April the 19th to the 24th, we've got the Australian Under-20 Iverberg Basketball Championships. Mackay will be hosting this elite level of basketball with approximately 380 athletes already registered. Support staff will be coming and approximately 600 to 1,000 spectators and families. This is the last junior championship event before the senior nationals. This event will be held over 7 days, attracting overnight visitation and contributing to the regional economy. Held at Mackay's multi-sports stadium, this event is another great example of event organisers collaborating with Tourism Event Queensland, Mackay Regional Council and Mackay Isaac Tourism, all working together with event organisers to raise awareness of the Mackay region, contributing to the destination image. Mackay Isaac Tourism has offered athletes and spectators accommodation and tour packages that's distributed prior to the event, maximising every booking opportunity. Mackay Isaac Tourism will again have a pop-up visitor information centre at the venue over the 7 days and manned by their generous volunteers, and have especially designed a commemorative keyring to also sell at the event. There's 2 really interesting Mackay local basketball facts. 2 years ago, basketball star Joshua Giddey played in this event and is now playing for the NBA. And Marianne Tolo also played in this event and is now playing with the Australian Opals and represented Australia in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Very cool. Thanks.
Business events continue to attract a lot of visitation to our region. Many delegates do make the most of these trips and tend to stay in the region post-event. Last year, 13 conferences brought over 2,300 delegates to Mackay. The NQ Branch Conference for the Queensland Institute of Public Works will be held in Mackay on the 10th and 11th of May at the MEC. This event is supported by Mackay Regional Council's Invest Mackay program. The welcome function will be held at Mackay Hotel and the conference dinner will be held at Harrop Park. The conference will attract approximately 120 delegates for a 2-night stay in the region.
And in May, we've also got Legends on the Lawn. We've got an amazing lineup with Jimmy Barnes, John Stevens, The Living End, Busby Maru, Christine Anu, and it's Mackay's chance to collaborate again with the major event organiser Queensland Festival Events that brought us Elton John in 2017. The target market is 35 to 60-year-olds. And they're hoping 42% of locals will attend and 60% will be visitors. They've already sold 4,200 tickets through Ticketmaster. The estimated stay of the visitor will be 2 to 3 nights. And the estimated economic impact will be $4.2 million into the local economy. This show is exclusive, the only show in Queensland, and we get to showcase our venue, Harrop Park.
Okay, so July is buzzing in Mackay, as you can see. Hashtag Mackay in July. Festival coordinator Talina will give you an insight into the festival shortly. The 2022 Developing Northern Australian Conference will be held at the MEC on Wednesday the 6th of July until Friday the 8th of July. This conference is both in person and virtual. All keynote presentation sessions will be live streamed. Mackay Regional Council is the host council partner. The Developing Northern Australian Conference continues to grow every year, along with the national momentum for achieving better economic, social and environmental outcomes for the North and its people. Approximately 360 delegates will be in our region for a 3-night stay. The conference dinner will be held at a venue off-site, which is yet to be confirmed. The Regional Council welcome reception will be held at the Resource Centre of Excellence. Study tours will include Mackay City and Waterfront Walking Tour, the Resource Centre of Excellence, and a distillery and miniature sugar mill tour of the Serena Sugar Shed. This conference finishes on a Friday, so there is definitely an opportunity for tour providers to encourage delegates to stay for the weekend to experience our region.
So then we've got August, and we've got NQ Rockin' Country. This country music festival was first held last year with 1,725 locals attending and 1,400 visitors that stayed for 3 days. This gave over $1 million infusion into our local economy. This year's amazing lineup is our very own Graham Connors, Lee Kernaghan, Gina Jeffries, Tanya Kernaghan, Brad Cox, Becky Cole, Casey Barnes and Travis Collins. This country music festival over 3 days raises money for Variety, the children's charity. There's food venue opportunities and stallholder opportunities. The festival last year fostered community pride, with the tug of war sponsored by City Fitness, line dancing organised by Dow's Creek Hall and judged by the Mayor, Best Dress sponsored by Little Bit Country and Cotton Candy Cowgirls. They also encouraged local schools to be involved by entering a scarecrow competition where they had the opportunity to win a $4,000 media pack. We got an amazing testimonial after the event from Casey Barnes. He said the last 18 months have been extremely challenging in the music industry, especially with live touring being a big component of this. Against all the COVID odds, the organisers of this festival not only pulled it off, but it was a truly world-class event. From the festival organisers right through to all the crew and volunteers, they were nothing but professional, and it was one of the best festival experiences he's ever had. Thank you.
Okay, so also we are very excited to welcome the annual Provincial Surgeons of Australia Annual Scientific Conference to Mackay from the 11th to the 13th of August. The conference will be held here at the MEC. 90 delegates will be in our region for a 3-night stay. This conference will feature a cohort of respected local, metropolitan and international faculty. The Mackay Surf Lifesaving Club will be hosting the welcome and the PSA dinner. Delegates will enjoy taking in the beautiful sunset over Harbour Beach, followed by trivia. Delegates will also enjoy a spectacular evening under the stars at the gala dinner that will be held at Note Park Grazing. The gala dinner will showcase our region's local produce, distillery and local talent. Okay, so in October, the 75th annual Mackay Stedford will be held here at the MEC, and it's a well-known annual event. Last year during October, the MEC welcomed over 16,400 patrons through our doors just for the Stedford that ran for 15 days. We tracked postcodes and gathered that around 400 visitors from outside our region would be staying overnight for at least one night to see or perform in the Stedford. The MEC hosts around 300 events per year and around 140 live performances, and the remainder are business events, schools awards and local meetings. 140 live performances offers quite a lot of visitation. We have some big name acts heading to the MEC this year that will attract many patrons from outside our region who will need accommodation and who will look for dining options before attending a show. This is great for accommodation providers and restaurants. There's some suggestions on how you can work with upcoming events here at the MEC. The key takeaway here is to make yourself aware of the events that are happening within our region. Encourage guests to dine with you by offering a discount to ticket holders. Think about what else you can do to partner with accommodation providers to get the message out to the delegates about where they can eat. Consider offering a special offer to ticket holders and post on social media, making sure that you tag in the MEC, and we will like and share that to our followers. The easiest way to work with events to benefit your business is to like and share posts on social media, including Facebook and Instagram. So please be sure to like our page, follow us, and share our posts with your network. And as I previously mentioned, we'll do the same. So tonight from the MEC Business Development team, we have Belinda, if you want to stick your hand up, Amanda, and Maria. So this is the A team, responsible for processing all bookings here at the MEC. So these are the girls who are in the know. So if you want to know anything else that is happening at the MEC this year, please have a chat with these lovely ladies. Okay, so just some tools. So for more information on events in the Mackay region, please visit the Mackay Regional Council website. The Organising Events in Mackay Region website has everything anyone would ever need to know about how to host an event in the region, from working with council to obtaining permits. Also, please do make sure that you list your event on the Australian Tourism Data Warehouse. This feeds into Queensland.com webpage, so when you or any guests in the region simply Google what's on in Mackay, Queensland.com is the first website that appears, and every event listed in Mackay does appear on there. So if you're not putting your events on ATDW, cannot stress that enough to make sure that that is something that you're definitely doing.
And we've also got the Mackay, Mackay Community Diary. The council's website receives over 630,000 visits each year. The Community Diary averages more than 4,000 views a month. It's where locals and visitors can go to see what's on in the Mackay region. Share and promote your events, and it's for free. It's easy, and there's some easy guidelines on how to do that. If you have any difficulties, please contact Christy or myself. And yeah, thank you for having us, and we'll be sending out after the event a calendar of everything, so you don't have to remember everything tonight, and we'll be happy to answer any questions after at networking time. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, ladies. So next we have an update from Mackay Tourism. Unfortunately, Taz couldn't be here with us tonight. He's at the Australian Tourism Awards, but he did record some information for us. So we'll go through that now, and then I'll be back with you at the end.
Good evening, and thank you for having me here tonight. It's a great night to have everyone from the event and the conference sector all getting together and having a look at what the calendar looks like for 2022 and moving forward. So I can't be with you tonight. I'm actually at the Australian Tourism Awards with St Lawrence Wetland, which won gold at the Queensland Tourism Awards, and hopefully we're having a successful night in our own right with that event as it goes forward in leaps and bounds. Events have proven to be a real success driver for tourism in our region. They do drive a large amount of our economy, and they actually are really a part of how we can go forward with filling weekends and other parts of our tourism sector as we move forward. So with that in mind, Mackay Isaac Tourism has been looking at a number of support mechanisms that we can give event operators as well as our own tourism community to help support these events, but then also extend length of stay and get people spending more money in our region, which is the overall goal of what we're trying to do. So what this presentation will do is we've broken down our support into a number of different sections, of which I'll go through into more detail around what that looks like and what that is. So Mackay Isaac Tourism Event Support, we do this in a number of different ways. In particular with the Visitor Information Centre, we can do a mobile Visitor Information Centre which can come to your event, be set up with a range of different information in on it. So this is easily done. We've got a few different versions of it. We have a trailer which we can just put either inside or outside and set up, which is quite easy to look after. It can actually pull down and fold away quite easily, and it is quite robust to be able to get into different event sites. We also have the marquee version of that as well, which is a little bit easier for us to get around and also means that we can showcase that in a lot more diverse regions, which is really, really good as well for certain events. As well as that, we've got a number of different collateral, so we can actually give out different things at different events. For example, you might want to put in a visitor guide into each of the packs for people coming to our region. You might even want to get goodie bags made, which we're happy to do for you as well, with a range of different brochures. And as you can see, highlighted on this page is a range of the information we can put into a gift baggie for your event attendees. And we can also look at event signage as well. So we've got flags, we've got fence wrap, we've got core flute signage, we've got a number of different signage around for the region, which can help highlight your event, but also showcase the destination as well. Finally, we have our event volunteers. So we've got a team of 32 volunteers. They do go to a range of different events. We do ask them, they do volunteer for the event, so we do have to ask them first, but we can often get events to get volunteers to come to events and help hand out as much information as required so we can get people to extend length of stay, book tours, and spend more money in our region. Marketing communications. Now, this takes on a range of different assets and bits and pieces that we look after. The first part is that we can share your event details through our channels. So we can put it through. You can see by this here, the audience reach of Facebook is about 301,000. Each post engagement gets about 51,000 views. Instagram has got about 20,000 people that follow it. Engagement rate is 1.8%, which is quite high. Mackay Isaac Tourism releases and media calls as well. So we can put together a range of different media releases and media calls depending on the event and its visitation attractiveness. So we've done this before with events like the Mackay Beach horse races, Rumble on the Reef, and a number of different events like that as well. As well as our own channels to our to people outside the region, we actually have got the Mackay Isaac Tourism Facebook page as well. So if you want to share stuff internally with our members, you can go on there and share any event information or any deals you might have or any packages that you might be creating as well, so that we can share that out through our channels too. Finally, we also have our newsletters and our consumer newsletter. So we do have a newsletter to members that goes out fortnightly, which we can share information on to get other people sharing our information, looking at how we can work together with our tourism members. And then we have a consumer newsletter, which has about 8,000 people that we can send it out to, which we normally do around marketing campaigns and send out messaging around that, which this year we're going to be doing an event campaign and sending it out to quite a large range of people. The other part that's in here is around letters of support. So if you are looking as an event to look for funding, we're more than welcome to do letters of support. We do require a bit of vetting before we do letters of support itself. So we do, if you're working with the Invest Mackay committee, that's a good way to get engagement from us as well, or just to have a sit-down meeting with us and showcase your event, just so that we can make sure we know what we're backing with our letter of support. But it is something we can do, and they are often used for grants and government grants and private investment. Packaging and bundling is a part that we've been working on with our Visitor Information Centre team. Now, we're still a work in progress on this, but there's a few different things that we've got here. So we do this for certain events that have got a drive for visitation. A good example is on the right of this page. You can see the Welcome to Mackay for our Basketball Australia webpage that we set up. This is an exclusive page that we've done. We don't do this that often, but we can do it if the event is going to draw a large visitation. With this, as you can see at the top here, there's actually a number of different packages that we've been able to put together. These are done specifically for that event. The 2-day package is actually done pre-event. The 1-day package is during the event. And then we've got stuff like the morning package, which can be done during the event as well on the Friday. So the good thing about this and what we've done here is we've highlighted how we've worked with the event proponent to figure out what are the best days for travel. We've built packages especially for the event, and then we've now been able to highlight that through. As well as that, down the bottom here, we also have other things you can do. So there is the Wildcat Serena Sugar Shed and the Wallaby Experience, how to book it and how to get things happening. Other bits and pieces that we can do, as well as the packages, are itineraries. So you might want to put some itineraries together to send out to your event that might be wanting to put certain things on. And if you know what that the market is, might be a drive market, might be a fly market, and also the demographic of the people coming, we can actually get a specific itinerary that might be good for your event, so you can get it out to them. We can also then look at getting those package tours in and around, which I was talking about before. The other thing that I was going to actually talk about here is, once the event's been formalised, we have a number of different tools that we can send out as well. So, for example, we can give out information that the event, if it's an event that from outside the region coming in, they might have a database that they can send to. We can do up bits of information for their database. So if they want specific information done in a certain way, we can get that built and get it sent out so that it can be sent. We can also do email registration emails. So if you register for an event and you get an email back, it could have specific links to certain things such as extended length of stay, like itineraries, packages, so that as soon as a person registers for the event, they're aware that they are actually able to look at also the holiday and extending their stay after the event is finished or before the event starts. Finally, data analysis. So we've been doing a lot of work around data analysis over the past sort of 6 to 12 months, just to try and see how we can help events understand what they are actually doing for our region. The top one up the top here, the top left, this is actually using what we call STR booking, which is really looking at the highlighted forward bookings of our hotels. It takes in about 19 to 20 hotels in the region, but those 19 to 20 hotels are the big hotel chains, and it actually is over half of our hotel inventory that actually gets tracked during this program. We then acquire the data back that we can actually see what's going on. With a specific graph, as you can see as it goes on, you can see spikes of visitation in and around. What we've done then is we've overlaid the event calendar to see what might be causing these spikes. So we can actually see that the Bowen Basin Symposium has caused this spike at the end of March. And then we can look at other ones like the Basketball Australia and other bits in there. The Easter weekend have really highlighted a large weekend in April. and then going back in and through. The NRL Roosters Titans game is also, you can see, spiking in and through as well. There's actually one coming up in July, the QISSN Confraternity Cup. They've actually really seen big spikes in visitation for that July period. So we can actually look at this and be able to see how your event is making a difference to visitation as it goes forward. Other bits of data that we can do, we can actually highlight, which is these other bits on the page, highlight our web assets and how our web pages are performing while your event is being looked at, and then also look at our Facebook page to see what demographic are looking at it and how well it's been looked at in terms of its success rate. So we're very keen to have a look at that and look further into data. One of the other bits that we are working on is geofencing certain locations, such as the sports precinct, Mackay Harbour, and other areas like that, the showgrounds, to actually see on an event weekend whether a certain event is actually driving visitation through to that area. So with that, we're hoping to be able to do more data, and you'll be able to get a hold of that data as you move forward. So I hope that gives you a snapshot of where Mackay Isaac Tourism is going. I know I've got a few of my staff in the room here tonight, so thanks to Chrissy, who will be there, and Lucy, who is there as well. Please contact them and have a chat about any event support you would like, and we'll see what we can do to support your events. As I said at the start of this, events are very important to our calendar. They're very important to the tourism industry, and we see the difference that they're making. So we enjoy the support that we've given and that we will continue to give, and would love to see that event portfolio grow. Thank you. Enjoy the night, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.
Next up, I think there's great anticipation about finding out a bit more about this event, but I'd like to introduce James Dean, CEO of Sound Australia, and James and his team will be delivering the beach horse races in Mackay for 2022.
Thanks, Tiana, and g'day Mayor Greg and councillors and tourism people here today. It's nice to be here.
Crowds cheering, adrenaline pumping, and the sound of thundering hooves on wet sand. This June, the tropical north welcomes back its favourite fun-loving spectacle, the Mackay Beach Horse Races. All happening on a long stretch of golden sand beside the glistening Pacific Ocean at Harbour Beach, Friday, June 10 to Sunday the 12th. It's definitely not the Melbourne Cup, but it is going to be a huge weekend full of good times, delicious food, your favourite drinks, live concerts, top beach club DJs, fashions on the sand, and a truly one-of-a-kind legendary beachfront horse race. Thrill to the spectacle of retired thoroughbreds, stock horses, quarter horses and mixed breeds, all battling it out for the much coveted title. Racegoers can also look forward to discovering the Mackay region's stunning natural beauty and attractions. The Mackay Beach Horse Races, officially back in the saddle in 2022. Ticketing's designed to suit all budgets, appetites and vibes. So giddy up, go to mackaybeachhorseraces.com.au for all the details, and we'll see you on the sand.
There you go. We've had to dig deep in the archives to pull that together, and we had some fun doing it too, I can tell you. So I hope you like it, because you're going to be seeing lots of it from tomorrow morning on social media. We're going to be using it pretty extensively, not only in Queensland and the regional areas, but we're also punching that message south of the border as well. After all, this is a destination tourism event, and we're in the tourism industry. So that's what we're up to. But what I thought I'd do is just take you through what we've been doing since we signed off on this moving forward back in December. So a lot of our efforts have been on re-engaging with partners and developing new partnerships and sponsorships. Example being today, we were able to announce the major presenting partner with the Mackay Airport, and we did a stand-up media event at the airport, and I thought that went really well, and it's great to have them back. Not only is the airport supporting the event in a cash sense, but also through their channels. They've got enormous channels, and they've got great promotional avenues that they add value to the event. And I think it's I think it's just a natural fit because it's all about people flying in through the airport for us. I mean, it's the local market, it's the drive market, but there's also a big fly market as well, and southern, and we want to promote that. Tourism and Events Queensland haven't come out and made an announcement yet, but they will very soon. But I'm happy to announce tonight that they are a strategic partner of the event. They've really got in behind it, and they're going to be adding a lot of value with their resources as well. So it's good to have TEQ on board. We're really thrilled with the opportunity to take the VIP deck experience to the next level. And I think it would be fair to say that no one is more passionate and protective of brand Mackay than the Connors family. They are absolutely committed and very, very proud people from this region. And so to be able to sit down, and it's a generational thing, to be able to sit down with the guys and the team and say, look, let's try and work through this and come up with a package that's going to work. And they're throwing their entire resources of their team and the restaurant to delivering our VIP deck. They'll be closing the restaurant at night, and they're throwing everything at it. They'll have a full team of people, about 18 staff running around serving you. It will be done in a corporate sense. You'll feel like you're in Melbourne. You'll feel like you're at the Cairns Amateurs. You can be at Doomben. You can be at any race day. It's a high-level catering offer. And testament to that, we put the tickets on sale purely for early bird yesterday. So it was a soft open. It wasn't a big fanfare. We'll get to all of the outreach and marketing. And we had a couple of people step up and buy a number of tables immediately, which was great. We've done a partnership with the Mackay Surf Club. I think it would be fair to say at Harbour Beach, the spiritual home of Harbour Beach has got to be the Surf Club. And we, from the very get-go, we wanted to involve the community. It's a big team sport, this, running these events. You need as many people on your team as you can, and the Mackay Surf Club, for us, was a natural. So we've packaged in and around the Mackay Surf Club catering options. We've got entertainment running there. They are our community partner. We have a 25-seat bus that we're having sign written at the moment. That bus will be parked and looked after and run out of the surf club, which is fantastic. It'll provide a service for the surf club, but of course it's a mobile billboard moving around town. Had some great meetings yesterday with Carlton United Breweries. They're on board, and also Smirnoff, and we'll announce the Smirnoff Beach Club as we get going. So just running through the program. Friday night there's a beach concert, which is on the ground floor at the surf club. A number of bands playing. The Little Steelies are the band that we've chosen there. If you like the music of the Doobie Brothers, Fleetwood Mac, Steely Dan, Toto, the Eagles and so on and so forth, fabulous band, supported by some other local artists, and that is a standalone event at the Surf Club. Then moving through the event tickets, we've got our Saturday GA tickets, which are on sale now, and they will go very well. The Saturday Beach Club is a new concept. The Beach Club is really about engaging with the youth audience under 30s, and so it's a beach club like you would see at Ibiza, like you'd see at any European location. It looks like, you know, what they may do in Melbourne on the beach. The beach clubs are becoming a really good cultural thing. So we've got some pretty cool DJs playing music in there during that day, and they'll continue on to the main stage after the event, and also we've got an after party to announce in Mackay, which will happen off-site for those that want to kick on a little later. The dispensary VIP deck I've spoken to you about, and that will go extremely well. The capacity of the deck is it's scalable, but the capacity at full size at this point is just shy of 500. We feel we can fit in there, but we can scale it back depending on the uptake, and do it really well. So it sort of harks on what Mick did back in the day, developing the deck, but it's done with a roof and it's enclosed, and it makes it a lot, as an environment for a caterer, it makes it a more attractive environment to be able to pull a high-level caterer in, as we've done. The beach cabanas are another package again. Again, they're around a table, a group of 10 people, plus kids. You can put your kids in there as well. So it's a 4 metre by 3 metre area with a little garden, sand garden out the front with a fence and so on. Just a bit like what they do at the Polo, really, I suppose. You can buy yourself a little space. So mums and dads can get together with their friends, or business people can get together with their friends, and it comes with equipment, it comes with furniture, it comes with a starter pack of beverages, and we will add in a starter pack of catering into that as well. We've sold 6 already. There's only 48. So I think we did that yesterday, which is fantastic. So I think the beach cabana will be great. Just looking at the entertainment in the beach club, we've gone with Stace Cadet, Mel Hall, Sergeant Slick and Joel and Petch, and I can see that you're all saying, yes, we understand who they are. If you're 25, you'll get it. So again, it's about pitching into that younger audience. I feel events need to be constantly topping up with new people. It's renewal. You have to have renewal with events. If you're not renewing your events, eventually you're going to run out of people, because we all age. So I think in bringing back the Mackay Beach horse races, nailing the young ones and getting them out there and getting them involved, they'll stick with the event, and they'll grow with the event. Fashions on the Sand will announce Winner's Circle will be another feature of what's there. So our marketing mix is going to include all of the usual things. Our affiliate marketing is something that we really take very seriously, and that is to be able to work with the past databases from the beach horse races, and also the databases that this centre has and that Mackay Ticketing has, to be able to use those, but also go out far and wide beyond that. We were able to access the River Sessions database, which is perfect for the beach club. And Michael's been really, really helpful. He's come on board to help with this. You'll see the outdoor popping up around town. We've got some great outdoor sites happening around Mackay. You'll see that from tomorrow morning, whether you're driving past the showgrounds or whether you're going over the bridge to the north side. Wherever you go, you're going to see some bright digital signs. We'll do television, radio and print, of course. Social media is really a big part of it, and to be honest, most of the focus is in that digital space these days, but we will do the broader traditional media as well. So we put a tagline on the event called "It's not the Melbourne Cup," or similar, and that extended into a bit of a think tank. And so arriving in Mackay in the next week is a full-scale horse, which we've called Mackay Beach Diva, which is a little take on Mackay Beach Diva, who was the winner of the Melbourne Cup, as you know. And so Mackay Beach Diva will arrive. She's a beautiful mare, 7 foot high, full scale, on a platform of wheels and so on. And Mackay Beach Diva will pop up in shopping centres. She will make appearances all over Mackay. And we're really happy that we've engaged with Red Hot Blue, the local agency, to bring Mackay Beach Diva to life. So I don't think there's too many avenues that we haven't thought of in attracting people back to the beach races. It's going to have all of the fun things that it always had. We're not going to change those values that Popey set up and all of that. We're locked onto all of that. We just want to do it with a twist, and we want to re-image it and reshape it. So that's our presentation today, and we're really thrilled to be here. Thank you.
Thanks, James. It was interesting. A few years ago, I presented at Destination Q in Gladstone and spoke about what we delivered as a community around Elton John and all the activation. And James was a fellow keynote at that conference. I think it was Big Red Bash that you were speaking about. Winton, wow, yeah, wow. And it's amazing to finally be able to work with him and his team, and it's been an incredible experience so far, and I can already see just the shift in what's being delivered, and I can't wait to see the colours from all the advertising just roll out across Mackay as we get close to the event. It's really exciting, especially since we've worked in the background, as Chrissy would know, for years, and getting it back to this stage, so it's great to finally see it happening. So next, from our event presentations, we have Scott McSherry, Assistant Principal with Mercy College. It's quite a mouthful of what he's coming to talk to you about. So it's the Queensland Independent Secondary School Netball Carnival and Queensland Independent Secondary Schools Rugby League, or as it's affectionately known as Confro. So please come up to the stage, Scott. Thank you.
Well, thanks very much, everyone. We're pretty excited about this event that we're going to bring to our region. We might play the video first. I'll see if did I hit the button there?
In 2022, CQ University Confro and Quizzin comes to Mackay. The pinnacle of secondary school rugby league and netball. Confraternity and the Queensland Independent Secondary Schools Netball Carnivals. For the first time in 25 years. Over 1,200 league players and 900 netballers and staff competing as one for a historical week in the Mackay region. St Patrick's and Mercy College Mackay are proud to host CQ University Confro and Quizzin 2022. With world-class facilities like PB Print Stadium and Mackay Multi-Sport Stadium. It's a carnival not to be missed. Home of rolling cane fields, Queensland's bluest river, the gateway to the Great Barrier Reef and birthplace of some of our greatest athletes.
St Patrick's and Mercy College are proud to share all our community has to offer with the teams and their families and friends. Win, lose or draw, we're looking forward to helping all the students forge great memories to last a lifetime, as well as delivering an economic boost to our fantastic region.
Be a part of the competition that produced some of our greatest athletes. 2022 CQ University Confro and Quizzin Carnivals. Proudly brought to you by Key Solutions Group, Mackay City Auto Group, Fergus Builders, Guardian, Souths, Tropical Exposure, Mackay Regional Council, Catholic Education, Diocese of Rockhampton. 2022 CQ University Confro and Quizzin Carnivals. June 26 to July 1.
So this is the type of event that unless you have actually had kids involved, you may not actually know about it. But Confro has been running in this state since 1980. It kicked off with 6 schools in Bundaberg, sponsored by the Confraternity of Brothers Clubs. And it has grown now to 60 schools, including boys and girls that participate in this each year. It says independent schools, it's independent and Catholic schools, so it's any non-state school gets an invite to this particular carnival. The same with the netball, which has been running since the year 2000. The reason why we want to host this carnival is pretty much because we've got a passion for our region. We know the sort of visitation these carnivals bring. I've been to 13 carnivals myself, all around regional Queensland, and every second year it's actually in the southeast corner. And I know that our facilities are better than anyone who has hosted previously has ever been able to offer. Particularly at the Rugby League, there is no Rugby League facility in this state that has 9 international size Rugby League fields all in one venue. The first carnival I ever attended was in 1987, where we did host it in Mackay. I was, I think, about 15 at the time, and it was a great experience. And, well, at that time, I think it's around about 18 schools. We hosted it again in Mackay. I wasn't a teacher at the time, but that was in 1996. We were meant to host again in 2011. We had an accommodation issue in Mackay at that particular time, mining boom at the time. The principal at St Patrick's at that time chose not to host it, which I was disappointed about. I thought we could have done that. And since that time, I've been lobbying to get it back to our region ever since then. So we've been waiting our turn for it to go around again, and it's our turn now. The 2 carnivals, they are 2 separate organisations, but they are always hosted in the same town. So last year, we got a day and a half of the carnival in. It was down in Brisbane before the state went into COVID lockdown. So that was very disappointing. In 2020, it was cancelled in its entirety. The kids haven't had an opportunity to participate in Confro and Quizzen since 2019 in Bundaberg, which when they hosted the full carnival, for Bundaberg, I think it was an injection of around about $6 million in the local economy, and the entirety of Bundaberg was booked out. For the first time ever, we're going to host a carnival which are literally side by side. So the Rugby League Carnival will be held at BB Print, Mackay Junior Rugby League grounds, and at Abbott Park, which is owned by South Juniors. And over the road, the netball will be held at the Mackay Multisport Stadium. So this has never happened in any previous carnivals, where literally both events will be essentially at the same venue. Like I did say in the video, there's over 2,000 kids participating in this. There's school staff attending Mackay, but the parent attendance of these carnivals has really been growing. It's in the first week of the June school holidays, and parents and families now make a holiday around going to watch their kids play rugby league and netball. So one of our motivations was to showcase our fantastic region, because we are sure once they come to Mackay, they'll come back. And that's the idea of what we're trying to put on. We hope to host the best carnival that's ever been hosted. To do that, we've had to require significant corporate support. Those are our gold sponsors up there, as well as support of Mackay Regional Council through the Invest Mackay program. We're very grateful for that support, and through that, we'll be able to offer a fantastic experience for these families going to travel to Mackay from all over the state. The event does coincide with the merging of both Mercy College and St Patrick's after many, many years of being separate. St Patrick's was an all-boys school at one stage, and Mercy College was formerly known as OLMC, Our Lady Mercy College. The 2 schools are merging to be one college known as St Patrick's in 2023. So that's why the event is being hosted by both schools, and that was our principal up there, Mrs. Janelle Aegis. She's a wonderful principal. She's a principal of both colleges. So I think Taz even mentioned in his presentation, and Chrissy would also attribute to, I think the town's pretty well booked out for that first week in June. So people are committed to coming, which is fantastic. What we need to do once we're here is to give them the experience of a lifetime, particularly for those young people that are about to finish school. They're usually year 11 and 12 kids who are coming here to compete. And I know from the kids that we've been taking away for St Patrick's over the years I've been doing it, it's an experience that they never forget. So it's not about just the experience of playing rugby league and netball, it's also about the experience they have in the town that they're going to. And I have to tell you, the most memorable carnivals that we attend are the ones in regional Queensland. The ones that are down in Brisbane, it's all very distant from each other. You book your motel, you go to the ground, you play your game and you go back. But when you go to regional Queensland, you get immersed in the local community, and that's what I hope will happen here. So I'd just like to bring the event to your attention. We do have a lovely brochure on the event as well. Even though we do have our gold sponsors there, we're certainly looking for more support for any local business like to gain exposure to the carnival and the visitors that we will attract. We're hoping for numbers up around 6,000 to come to our town to watch their kids play. And what we want them to do while they're here is to spend up big, enjoy everything that we have to offer. So thanks very much for listening to me tonight, and I do hope that everyone is able to profit from this particular event. And I'd just like to thank particular people, in particular Rob Coco through Regional Development Australia, who's been able to put me in touch with the right people, particularly Mackay Tourism, that we've been able to get the information out to accommodation providers in advance, so they are prepared for the onslaught of bookings that have occurred. So thanks very much, everyone.
Thank you, Scott. The next one is also a short video. So another event returning this year after a couple of years impacted by COVID is QME. So all signs are looking good for its return, but with Samantha Martin, who's the exhibition manager for QME, will give you a bit of an update.
Hi everyone, my name is Samantha Martin and I'm the exhibition manager for QME. Look, I'm so sorry that I couldn't be there in person, but I wanted to take this opportunity to give you all an update on how the event is progressing. QME is returning to Mackay from the 19th to the 21st of July, and it is shaping up to be a really successful event. We are already sitting at 30% larger than what we were in 2018, which is not only a great result for the event, but a great result for the region. QME will be welcoming over 250 suppliers from around Australia, and at the rate at which the event is selling, I think that we're going to be sold out in the next 4 to 6 weeks, which is just incredible. There's a lot happening during the 3 days of QME. We're welcoming the Mining House Pavilion back. 6 companies are being featured from around Australia, which is fantastic. The QME opening party, which is sponsored by Hastings Deering, will take place on the Tuesday night, which is the 19th of July. The QME seminar series is back stronger than ever, and this has been sponsored by Komatsu, which is just fantastic, and will feature some really great speakers and experts from around the country. We have a number of partner-driven workshops that are taking place, and I'm really excited that the Resource Centre of Excellence is featuring prominently throughout the 3 days of the event. And look, the biggest event to happen during QME is the Queensland Mining Awards, which is organised and run by the Bowen Basin Mining Club. This is a fantastic night and happens on Wednesday evening, and it brings a lot of people from out of town to both QME and to the awards. So I can't wait for that night. Visitor interest for the event is also going really well. We will officially open registrations in middle of April, but we're already getting indications from a lot of the major mining houses that they're really looking forward to sending their staff. And I really do see this as a great opportunity for us to actually increase our interstate visitation for this event, given that events just haven't been able to run for the last 2 years. So I'm really excited about what our visitation numbers could do this year. As you can see by the floor plan, QME is a bit larger than it was in 18. Actually, as I mentioned earlier, 30% larger. But what's even more exciting is our outdoor area is actually 330% larger than in 2018. And we're welcoming back some big equipment back to the event, which just brings a lot of excitement to the event in the lead up and during the show days, which is exciting. Look, QME couldn't happen without the support of our partners. We've had a long history with many of these partners over the years, and I look forward to working with them for many, many, many years to come. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to say thank you, because QME is a big beast, and we couldn't do it without the support of these guys. Look, QME is celebrating 29 years in Mackay, and I really, really hope that it's around for many, many, many years to come. One of the biggest things that will impact the results of this event is access to accommodation. I really ask you all, you guys play a really important role in how people experience QME and how they leave the event. So one of the biggest impacts is minimum night stays, and I really do ask that you all review those policies, because when providers are strict with minimum night stays, they end up losing business. So please work with us for this event. We want to bring as many people to the region, many people to your properties as we possibly can. So look, my contact details are up on the screen. If you have any questions or if you need any assistance, please reach out. I'm available on email or phone. I will also be up in Mackay quite regularly. I'll be up again at the end of March. So if you want to meet up in person, please reach out. I'm more than happy to come and see you. I'm really excited about QME and what we can bring back to Mackay. So again, I want to work with you. So thank you for your time. And again, if you've got any questions, please reach out. Thanks.
My team is also working closely with some of our regional partners, such as Greater Whitsunday Alliance, the Resource Centre of Excellence, Resource Industry Network, and we'll have a really strong regional representation at QME for this year, partnering with Whitsunday and Isaac as well. So happy to take any questions that you may have on QME and our plans for that also. Next up, we've got Talina James, Festivals and Events Coordinator for the MEC Festival, and she'll talk about Festival of Arts.
Hello everyone, thank you Tiona. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Mackay Festival of Arts, there you go. It's an arts and cultural festival hosted annually each July. The festival's been flagged as one of the events our community loves and is proud of, and we're mighty proud of it too. The festival achieves some pretty outstanding results. An amazing social media reach, a big visitation from outside the Mackay region, and a pretty cool combined attendance. And this attendance includes the attendance at the Wine and Food Day and Illuminate. Over 5 years, the festival has grown by almost 30,000 attendances. There is such an appetite for this event. Demand is growing, and with it, there is so much room for collaboration between Mackay festivals and Mackay business owners. We not only want you, but we need you. So how can you get involved? You can become a fringe event. Fringe events are events hosted in July that are organised and delivered outside of the Mackay Festivals team. A fringe event could look like a gala dinner, an expo, live music at a restaurant, a gallery of artwork. The sky is the limit. These events are organised by event organisers outside the council, meaning people in this room, like Amanda, sitting right there. Fringe events are important as they help build the program to one that outside visitors want to come to Mackay to explore. Combined with the events that the festivals team organise, Mackay in July is truly activated and people are keen to visit our region. We add all the fringe events to the Mackay Festival and Arts program, which is printed 5,000 times and digitally distributed 16,000 times. We place all fringe event information on the web pages. We share these details through social media platforms, which has a combined following of 62,000 followers. Unfortunately, it's too late to organise a fringe event for this year, but I'm planting the seed of an idea for you today because planning events takes a lot of time, so it'll give you a chance to maybe think about 2023 and if you wanted to become a fringe event for then. This year will be the festival's 35th birthday, and with this celebration, I can confidently say it will be the biggest festival ever. This year, we would love if you would join us to help us activate Mackay in July. If we all contribute, visitors to the region will spend more money and they will stay longer. If you're a hospitality business, think of ideas like a festival-themed menu item. On your socials, mention the Mackay Festival of Arts to receive $5 off your order or something along those lines. A festival cocktail during happy hour, a new cocktail specifically for the Mackay Festival Arts in the month of July. Using upcoming events to word specials like looking for somewhere to rest your feet after Illuminate. Tonight we're offering $4 milkshakes or something like that to help bring people into your business. Join us at Wine and Food Day. We would love to see restaurants hosting long lunches or ticketed foodie events at the Wine and Food Day. If you have ideas and want to chat on how we can support each other, tonight is the night. Use your social media platforms to get word out, tag the festivals team, and we will like and share as well. So that will expand your reach and get you more followers as well. If you're an accommodation provider, think of ideas like package deals with tickets. This year we've actually budgeted in for $125 gift vouchers to go towards festival shows. This is specifically for accommodation providers to use as an incentive. So if this is something you might be interested in, jump on board and let's chat. Again, use upcoming events to entice out-of-town visitors to the region. And use your social media platforms to get word out and we will share it. Grow your following and increase your customer base. It's a win-win. Okay. I want to point out a few key dates. One thing I wanted to note with you all is previously the Mackay Festival was hosted over 2 weeks in July. This year it is expanding. It's now over the full month of July. This is a really good change because it means that we get to tap into more weekends over July and it gives a wider variety of events for our customers. This year we'll kick off with Illuminate. Illuminate will be held over 4 nights at the beautiful Queen's Park, which will give us ample space to showcase the beautiful art installations to thousands of attendees. Moving these dates means Illuminate will take place over the school holidays. And these new dates could mean an increased attendance. Last year we had 24,000 people walk through the gates of Illuminate, so that was quite significant. Wonder Rooms will see shipping containers converted into selfie museums by local artists. I just thought I'd pop this one in here as an FYI for you all because it is free and it activates lots of different parts of the Mackay region. If you have a coffee van or a small food van or something like that and you wanted to tap into the operational hours of Wonder Rooms by offering drinks or whatever when operation is happening, let me know and I'll send you through some details so that you have all the times. Wine and Food Day will be on Saturday, the 16th of July. I get that question constantly. Saturday, the 16th of July. And as that video just showed, it is very much about good food. We are seeking hospitality providers interested in making this day memorable. Last year, we had 30,000 people walk through the gates, meaning if you jump on board this year, you will make good sales. From a PNC selling hot donuts to a well-known restaurant offering off-site catering options, we strongly urge you to consider the Wine and Food Day as one of your key off-site catering events for 2022. Applications for food vendors will open soon, so keep an eye out on our social medias platforms, or have a chat with myself or Hayley, who's in the room from Mackay Festivals, and we'll grab your contact details and let you know more. The rest of the program we're keeping under lock and key until the 11th of May, sorry guys. One more thing I want before we finish up. This year we are getting festival stickers for shops. Any businesses who are offering festival-themed discounts or menu items or packages, let us know, because we will happily give you the stickers to display at your shop front. It would be great to have the town painted with festival-themed branding. If you have any questions, pull me aside tonight and we can chat. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right, we're nearly at the end. I told you it was a very big 2022 that we have coming up. So next event will be Rumble on the Reef. Again, unfortunately, Donnie couldn't be with us this evening, although I'm sure most of you, if you've ever had anything to do with this event, you would have come across Donnie. Unfortunately, his business was impacted by the recent flooding in Brisbane, but he'll touch on his plans for this year. I've also got Amanda Pellegelli here too as well, who'll come up after the video and touch on a bit more information and what's happening at the Wake House as well.
Hey everybody, Donnie from Rumble on the Reef here. I apologise for not being there this week. We've had a crazy flood down in Brisbane. We've been working in the community with a lot of our skateboarders and partners to clean up a lot of homes and get the office back on track. Really looking forward to getting up to some sunny Mackay weather pretty soon. As you probably know, it's our 5th anniversary. This year we've got even more things involved, and we've hit record attendance every year, even through COVID. So we're expecting a massive influx with all the borders open this year. We've put some key events in states with low attendance, such as WA, to help boost a lot more of those people coming up as well. And just be mindful that if you're an accommodating partner and you have a lot of rooms that can suit families, please reach out to us. We want to make sure that those people have got a place to stay. I know there's a lot of things happening at that time of year, and we want to make sure that our people are being accommodated in the town as well. Especially our event is every year, and it will be back next year and every year following. So there's a few events that sort of come in here and there, and we want to make sure we keep our people getting the accommodation they need so they can make the most of the week. If you need anything at all, want to get involved, talk about hotels, or you've got tourism packages, feel free to reach out to myself at donnie@therumble.com.au, or any of our other partners, James for the music, Amanda for the wakeboarding, and also Marvin for the Hydrofoil Pro Tour. Anything skateboarding, you can relate to me, and I look forward to seeing all of you soon, and I can't wait for it to happen. Thank you.
I'm a visual person, so I like to just see what an event is all about. But my name's Amanda, so that's Rumble on the Reef. In a nutshell, it's a 2-week action sports festival that is held every year in September. It started out 5 years ago when the Mackay Investment Attraction Program seed funded that to happen. And now it's grown over those 5 years to where I've become involved as a local operator because we have the wake park, and also Marvin, who has the international pro tour for hydrofoiling, and James, who runs the music festival Rhythm and the Reef. So we're really proud that we still managed to have the event over the last 2 years through COVID restrictions. I think I was in the middle of announcing something at one of our wakeboarding events, and Anastasia Palaszczuk said that we were allowed to stand up and drink, and it was like the biggest roar at the event, and it'll be something that I remember forever. But they're things that you remember through COVID, and I guess we're just really grateful that we live streamed the event through those COVID years as well, so that we were able to keep people engaged that couldn't come to the event because borders were closed and international borders were also obviously off the cards. So we're very much looking forward to this September where we can have the internationals coming in, basically for, I can speak to wakeboarding the most, but our pros, it's the end of their European season, so it's a perfect time for them to come across and spend a month just fly in, flop, and hang out. There's only a few of those guys, but they add to the excitement. And I know America has an Etnies skateboarding team, they want to do the same sort of thing, and it all just starts to grow from there. So I know from last year for wakeboarding, with the borders shut, we're expecting to now this year double our competitor numbers. Last year, they stayed on average 6 nights in region. So the thing that I try to explain to hotel providers and accommodation, in town is just that skateboarding, wakeboarding, hydrofoil, they're all very recreational sports. So when people travel for those sports, they're traveling because they see the community, they like the people, they come to a destination and they want to spend a few nights there and party and have a good time and do everything that there is to do there. So I also want to take this opportunity because one of the things that we've done every year is had feedback forms from our competitors that have been very in-depth, and I've personally called every 74 of the competitors in my first year, to ask them specifically things they loved about our region, and the event, of course. But one thing I do want to focus on is the thing that they loved about Mackay the most was something that was completely free. And it was, they loved that every time they went to a place or they walked up the street or they hopped in the cab, everyone was super friendly. And I just think it's just important sometimes. I probably don't get out to all the hotels to tell them that, but that was something that meant a lot to them when they checked in. Everyone knew about Rumble. They were talking about it. They were asking them how their kids went that day at the competition. It was all those little things. So I know there's not a heap of hoteliers here today, but the ones that are here, that makes a big difference. So I really appreciate that because it means that those people come back because they feel connected to Mackay. The other thing that I wanted to take off my Rumble hat for a second and just put on another hat that we wear is I just wanted to help people, I guess, understand what we're doing to help hotels increase their yield, so to speak. So I know QME talked about it a little bit. It's really easy for people to jack their rates when things are going really good because we've just been through a bit of a tough time. But what I would rather you do and what we're trying to launch is more touring options. So the week before the very first COVID lockdown happened back in March 2019 or 20, whenever it was, my husband and I brought a bus and we were like, we're going to do day tours and this COVID thing will all blow over soon. What are they going to do? Shut the whole world down? And they did. So we've sat on this bus for a few years. We're now ready to launch that, and that's coming out over the next couple of weeks, or next 4 weeks, sorry, the plan. So we'll be able to offer day tours for some of the Mackay product. Okay, so Michelle's here. She's going to head up Mackay Adventure Tours and Transfers, which will be great. But what we want to do is we want to partner with hotels and event operators who want to sell those tours. So the biggest thing I get is when I'm talking to a few of the key guys, they go, oh, don't worry about it. I'll just email it out. Don't worry about the commission. It just doesn't work. It never works long term like that. We need to work with people who want to take that commission. We want you to be promoting this to people that are staying, because ultimately it'll benefit your businesses as well as ours, but our whole economy, because people will stay longer because they'll see that there's those tours to do. And it's just a much nicer way of increasing your yield rather than rake hiking and then all of a sudden people aren't coming back to our region for tours because they're not having a good time, they're not talking about us well. So I guess that was my little idea. It's very easy to stand up here and say those sorts of things, but we're pretty committed to trying to make that work. So if people are in the room that are interested in selling those tours, we're happy to help do the heavy lifting to make it as easy as possible for you to do that. It's going to take a little bit of time, but over the next couple of months, you're definitely going to see a lot more of us. So on that note, I will pass it back to Tiona. Thank you.
Okay, we're at the end. So it was a huge amount of information. We will send out after this the links to the presentations, and we've also recorded this evening as well. So please share it amongst the network, the other operators that couldn't be here, anyone who will benefit from hearing this information and thinking about what they can do to support our event calendar in 2022 and really maximise this opportunity we've got. We know if we do these things well, they will come back because they keep coming back year on year. So we have to make the most of it and put our best on show this year in particular. So please take this chance. The bar is still open. There's some food still up the back. Got probably 10 or 15 minutes, grab a drink, talk to the event organisers that you've seen here tonight that you want to know more about, have a chat to myself or any of the MEC team that are here. We're happy to take on any questions and get any information for you. Thank you for your time. It's been a long day. I understand that we're not quite at the end of the week, but we're nearly there. So yeah, we do really appreciate your support. We do like to put this information on. We haven't done it for a couple of years, so hopefully we'll now see you again in 12 months and have just as full a calendar coming back in 2023. So thank you.
Just like you.